Ezio, Michael, great to see you. Welcome along. Good to see you, Nins and Ed. Hi, Julie. Welcome today. Clarice, welcome. Rossell, nice to have you here. Ange and Regs. Jacqueline, good to see you too. Hi. Razul, nice to see you right behind me here. Yeah, that's right. Brazil's going to have some really interesting things to share us in the upcoming weeks as we get into looking at RevOps for businesses, where we'll actually move off the idea of marketing qualified leads and sales qualified leads and into AI qualified leads. But welcome everyone. FlowFridai, great to have you here for. Welcome everyone, great to have you here for FlowFridai. Another exciting session as you're expanding your knowledge on being flow engineers and bringing together AI agents and workflows to help you really multiply your results in business. Coming to you today, as I mentioned earlier, for some from Cebu in the Philippines. This is our new innovation center on level 14 at HM Tower in IT Park. We've freshly renovated. Wave some of the team here that are building the products that you get to use. We've got, in fact, big tour. You can see many seats to fill with new developers, and also for when you come here for Digital Transformation Week, if you're going to come and join us, we've also got these great strategy rooms where we can get together and brainstorm and ideate different ideas. Here's Gian, who's my executive assistant, who you might chat to from time to time. Our the director of product. There we go. Good to see you, Jay. Lead developer over here for our OKRX product. And our design director's not in just yet, but there's his office. And then over in this room is where we're currently working on the new AI agent. Say hi team. They're part of the Raya team that are actually working on the new AI live chat product, which is going to be really groundbreaking with what's happening with being able to have both the AI agents talking to our clients or customers, team members, whether it's pre-sale or post-sale, and but then also have live chat involved as well. Now, if you haven't been to Cebu in the Philippines, we're in IT Park, just to give you a bit of a perspective of where we are and the type of setup that we see. It's like the little mini metropolis in a city with over 1 million people. So probably a little bit like the size of a city like Brisbane for our Australian friends. All right, let's jump in today. I will plug myself into the bigger screen and we'll jump into our topic for today. A couple of updates. For those that are Google users and hungrily waiting on the integration with Google Drive and Google Docs, it is getting closer. We are still waiting, so hang in there. We're waiting for those approvals to come through. There is a feature that came out last night for the users of the Source Wiki, and we'll come to OneBrain as well shortly. We've just got a couple of bugs, but probably by early next week. We will have the automatic updating. So if you update Source Wiki or OneBrain with changes to those documents, if you've got AI agents linked, they'll actually auto update that information as well. You won't have to go back and refresh that documentation. So Genesis, if you can wave, who's our product manager on Raya, if as soon as we get that live, we'll send an email out to everyone, because that's a really important step that you can keep your knowledge base, your documentation, whenever it changes in Source Wiki or OneBrain, to automatically update the agents. It's going to be really, really powerful. Okay, today's session is back into the sales area for today. McKinsey and Co. recently came out and basically did this study on the impact of AI and automation, in particular generative AI. And for anyone who's on the digital transformation session yesterday, I shared this info that they've basically said their original forecasts on the positive impact of AI have been brought forward 8 years. It doesn't happen very often, right? That the forecast growth that we're going to see in productivity and gains would be brought forward 8 years. And as they analysed all the different industries, it's like, although some industries are going to have a bigger impact than others, it's everywhere where the impact will be. And in particular, the case for marketing, sales, customer service, software development, and then into areas like finance and HR. But naturally, marketing and sales and customer service or customer operations having such a big impact. That makes sense, right? Because for all of us in business, we need to drive more leads, get more sales, and then support those customers. And with that, we're able to then reinvest in all the other exciting areas in the business as well. So it really is a great zone to be doubling down on. And last weekend, we had one of the head people at Palo Alto Networks. You may or may not know that name. They're like the largest cybersecurity firm in the world, was actually here with us doing a couple of days of ideation and to help us taking products into the market. This leader has always been on the forefront of technical innovations in different industries, and she actually runs a team of 700 people. And one of the things that popped up, we were looking at the importance of building business cases for clients. And why that becomes important is that when we can establish what the needs are, where the challenges are for a business, and create a value proposition around that, we often move off price and into value. And it was a bit of a nice, refreshing moment for me. I spent 10 years heading up the strategy execution practice at Franklin Covey across Australia and New Zealand. And during that time, we were really lucky to teach programs like 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Leading at the Speed of Trust, the 4 Disciplines of Execution, but also their solution sales methodology called Helping Clients Succeed. And whether you're in direct product sales or you're in more of a solution sales zone, getting to understand solution selling is really important because it benefits us in marketing as well as just straight sales. We get to understand customers' problems and needs at a deeper level. And so today's session, we're actually going to draw on some of that thinking from solution selling approach, and in particular from a book called Let's Get Real or Let's Not Play by Mahan Coulson and Randy Illig. And what I love about this solution sales process is that it really helps to break through one of the big challenges that we find in sales, and that is that buyers, people don't like to be sold to anymore. They've been hit with all the different sales approaches that get just too salesy. People always be closing and trying to crunch the deal, and actually take us back to let's be good humans working together. Let's not get in a process where there isn't a value exchange being created. And and I think for anyone that will have a part of their sales process where you need to have a sales meeting, like a discovery call or whatever the sales meeting might be, one of the challenges in business today, especially with many sales meetings that happen online, is the show up rate. Are people going to show up to those booked meetings, or do they get busy and caught up with other urgent and important items and want to rebook those meetings at a different time? If that ever happens to you, pop a 1 in the chat. If you do that sort of sales process and people cancel meetings and have to rebook them, pop a 1 in the chat. And because it's a pretty standard thing that will happen out there. Now, if you're not in that type of sales process, but you have a product to sell, this session will also benefit you because it even thinks from a marketing perspective. Because at the end of the day, whether it's marketing or sales, it's all influence and it's all about value creation. So you can keep these similar ideas and repurpose them in that zone. Okay, let's get set up for today. which our setup is that your best setup is 2 screens. One screen where you can see my screen, and then on the second screen, set up Raya as well as our documentation. So they can be side by side and make it nice and easy to do your building process. All right, I'll tell you what, there's who's here for the first time? Just pop a 2 in the chat if it's your first time here so that I can keep you well and truly in consideration. Because I know that for some of us will be some pretty fast movers here. Or right, maybe we're all return players. Okay. So here we are for a worksheet today. Create business cases for pre-sales engagement. We'll be covering the challenge, creating the agents, building workflows, and then running the workflow. So the challenge: do you have a sales calls with clients and want to get better call show-up rates? Do potential clients ever push for lower prices? That's usually, that can happen as well. Although asking for discounts can be in the default nature of some people, in sales, we want to move off price and towards value. To do this, it's important to understand the needs and motivations of a client and move towards creating value. The sales process in general, I think it's quite broken out there. Buyers are generally defensive, not wanting to be sold to, but they do want to buy to solve a need. And we hear this same statement from our business coaches, our SaaS Academy. If you've check out any of Dean Martell's work at saasacademy.com, it's outstanding. And they see the same sentiment in the market at the moment. The book, Let's Get Real or Let's Not Play, Transforming the Buyer-Seller Relationship by Mahan Khalsa and Randy Illig, emphasizes trust, integrity, and mutual success as key components in the sales process to resolve a generally broken process. Here's the book. It's been around for a while, and there's a link on Amazon if you want to go check it out. This solution sales approach focuses on the buyer being understood and having their needs met. And one of the key aspects is the ability to build a business case so that the buyer can see the value in achieving their goals. Now, that part alone in marketing is a very powerful thing to set forth, because as you build things like your ideal customer profile, it's actually understanding, well, what are some of the goals that our clients are looking to achieve? And then can our solutions meet the needs of those goals? And when they can, it can be a very transformative process in both sales and for the clients, because they can say, well, here's where I can lock that solution onto. Now, very much in the fast-paced world we live in, we can use the fundamentals of this process to produce example business cases to send to a client prior to a sales call so that they feel seen and heard, and position your salespeople as knowledgeable experts. So in the solution sales approach, we essentially go through understanding what all the problems and challenges are of the client. But sometimes in order to build in order to get to the real heart of an issue, we need to have trust and credibility. And if the client doesn't have a previous relationship with, or potential client doesn't have a previous relationship with us, then what they need to see is some evidence that the person they're about to communicate with has both high character and high competence in their role. That's actually if we were to define trust, it's the intersection between character and competence. Character itself is made up of both integrity and intent. So integrity, do what we say we're going to do, and intent is about the intent to achieve a win-win solution. That's character. Competence then is around capability and results. And the capability, does the individual have the skill set? Do they have the style of communication? Are these things going to add value to building trust? And then results comes quite simply, past results, current results, and believability of future results. Now, to build trust and rapport prior to a meeting, one of the things that we can do is actually listen first. Listen to and listening first in a world where there might be no talking is actually to do some research about the client, see if we can understand where they're at. And then the idea of pre-building some business case ideas for starter conversation, so that when you then do get to the actual sales meeting, it can become more engaging, and the trust is built, rapport is built with the salesperson, because the client can see, oh, it looks like they know what they're talking about. They understand my industry. They've got an insight to my business. They've done some back desktop research, and they've actually taken the time to build out these ideas that could be useful for us. Now, intent matters more than technique when we get into things like solution selling, and the intent of being helpful, being useful, goes a long way to that trust building exercise. And so in today's FlowFridai example, we'll be building business cases for digital transformation that use intelligent process automation and people outsourcing. We'll really focus on the digital transformation piece to deliver on goals with greater speed, increased accuracy, and lower costs. Okay, so without further ado, if that sets the scene, let's start building. We will be creating 4 agents in a 4-step workflow. And essentially, the task that the first agent will do will be research about the company for the meeting. And then the agent will be a company website researcher. The task will be to create business cases for digital transformation. And the agent will be a McKinsey digital transformation consultant. I've got my, might have showed some of you already. There's a great book called Rewired by McKinsey, who will be one of the leaders in digital transformation globally. Now, we can't all afford to hire McKinsey consultants to come and join us as our employees in the organization, but we can create them through accessing the information within the large language models. And with Raya Pro, we can create our own digital version of a McKinsey transformation consultant. And then the next task here is create the pre-meeting email series to get the buyer excited about coming along and showing up at the meeting. And we'll use our pre-sales meeting email writer to help us with that. And then we'll do role play preparation. Big believer in role play, so that we'll have an agent that is a solution sales role play trainer. So it's actually developed specifically around these ideas, so that when a salesperson has that meeting, we can level them up. I've often seen where we can put people through a 2-day solution sales training course, and they can have quite a transformational experience. But the following day, going back to work, brains are a little bit like a rubber band. You might stretch them during the training, but they just snap back into the old habits immediately afterwards. And so one of the best ways to prep a salesperson for a sales meeting is actually in the pre-sales preparation that they do, and actually role playing as well prior to that session, so that they actually got their confidence going into the session. And confidence, not arrogance, very important. Confidence that comes through the preparation really shows off in that sales meeting. And so Kieran's asking, this is more B2B sales. It is actually. And Kieran, you're in both B2B and B2C sales, I think, in your business, if that's right. But even in B2B sales, B2C, like in the sales that you do in the gym zone, there's still some similarities. Like the business case might be more like the personal goals. So if I was coming into a gym, then I may be sold to based on understanding what are my personal goals. Am I here for general health, mobility? Am I coming to lose weight? Am I coming to bulk up? Get beach ready? What is it that I'm looking for there? And so the idea of understanding what people's goals or problems are, and then matching our solution to meet their needs, it could be a nice fit for you there as well. Okay, so let's start with creating the first agent. So we'll head on over to the agent section at the top of the screen. And from here, click on Build New Agent. And once we're at the Build New Agent section, we're going to fill out enter the agent role, and that's our purple text here, so we can copy and paste that in. And then select a icon that you would like to put in there today. Just going to go with a robot theme today. And once you've got that emoji in place, you can select a category. I'll put marketing in here. And if you weren't here last week, you can now add custom categories. Custom categories can be found in this workspace settings area. So you can add any custom categories you like. We'll use the goal statement. We'll now write the goal statement, and we do that by selecting generate. There's always no need to write that ourselves anymore. We can just use the power of the prompting that's behind the scenes. And okay, I'm, as a company website researcher, I'm responsible for conducting a comprehensive analysis of company websites to identify strengths, weaknesses. That's not what we want to do. So let's take out the word website and just put company researcher, delete that detail out, and select generate. As a company researcher, I'm responsible for conducting thorough analysis of industry trends, market dynamics, competitor activities to provide valuable insights to support the strategic decision making. That's more of the zone we need to be in here. But I could go one step further. I could company researcher for pre-sales meeting preparation. Let's try that one. Select generate. Yeah, it's looking more like it. I'm going to change that word up here to company researcher pre-sales meeting preparation. Okay, from here, we'll now generate a backstory. And base instructions. So research and data collection, competitive analysis, prepare presentation materials, collaborate with sales team, monitor and update information. Okay, looking good. We'll do professional for the tone of voice, but also influential. So as this information comes out, we're starting to prepare it from a sales perspective. Now, all we need to do here is click on Create Agent. So select Create Agent. And voila, that one is done. Now, our next agent, we're actually going to add some extra knowledge to it. So the next agent here is our McKinsey Digital Transformation Consultant. You might have a particular industry expert in your particular field, and you could use that industry expert name as something to consider as you're building things like this for yourself. We'll now select Build New Agent, and we'll paste in the McKinsey Digital Transformation Consultant. And we can add an icon to go with that. And add a category here. I'm going to put, might put sales, or if you had consulting set up, I'm going to use sales for mine. Then select generate for the goal statement. As a McKinsey Digital Transformation Consultant, I'm responsible for guiding organizations through their digital transformation journeys. Cutting edge technologies. Yep, we're in the right space. Then we'll select backstory, generate the backstory. Hopefully McKinsey don't come and shut down this video afterwards, right? That's then we'll go on to base instructions. Assessment of current state, strategy development, implementing planning, change management, performance measurement. Right, yeah, it's looking quite good. Now we'll go for professional and influential again on this one, because, oh, actually, I think it's a D for dominant. So one of the reasons why I went for D for dominant in this one is quite often a lot of the business leaders in this sales process, on the DISC personality profile, we see a lot of high D and captain quite personalities. And as a result, that is useful to match style in communication. Now, does anyone who here has done DISC personality profiling before? Just pop a one in the chat if you've had exposure to the DISC personality profile. If you haven't, I want to share with you right now a tool that we use. It's called Crystal Nose. And Crystal Nose is fantastic in your sales process. So big shout out to our friends at Crystal Nose. We've been using Crystal Nose for probably about 6 years now. And we use it in both our recruitment process to understand people's personality profiles, but we also use it in the sales process. And as an example, we can select, with the Crystal Nose Chrome plugin, you can select a person on LinkedIn and then view their personality. And it actually pulls data from all around the internet, not just LinkedIn. Oops, I've got to log in. And it's going to give us an analysis on that individual. And even more useful, it will give us some insights into how that person is likely to communicate, how we can communicate to them. So for example, here, I don't know Harris, he just came up in my feed, but he is high D and a high I as an initiator. So you got dominant, influential, steady, and conscientious. And what it shows here, here's where I sit, and here's where Harris sits. And so, hi, Harris, you might watch this sometime. So hello to you, sir. I don't know you yet. Hopefully this helps you. And here's what we know. When talking to Harris, it would be focus on the big picture, bottom line results and future outcomes. Do focus more on high-level summaries than deep driving on specific questions. Speak with high energy and answer questions directly. Don't focus on risk or downside. Prioritize the potential upside. Don't give in-depth product descriptions without explaining the bottom line impact. And then some really cool insights here, like behaviors, writing styles, how to drive the individual to action, energizers, drainers, tips on when speaking, consideration for good team roles, and comparisons between yourself and that other person around risk tolerance, trust and skepticism, optimistic, pragmatic, deliberate, fast-paced, matter-of-fact, expressive, autonomous, collaborative, supporting, dominant. So this gives you a deep insight now into what's going on over here in the DISC personality profile. So we're changing the tonality of the conversation from the individual, well, sorry, not tonality, but perspective of the conversation from the agent by utilizing DISC. So I don't think we've ever gone this deep before, so hopefully this is useful for you. And do check out Crystal Nose. It is a sensational product. Okay, now we're going to, please scroll to the top of the page, create this agent. And from here, we want to give this particular agent some extra knowledge. And that extra knowledge is available here in this document, which is the case for digital transformation. And what I did earlier today was I actually prompted the agent, an agent, to create 20 business case examples for digital transformation. And it came up with and I asked it to do it actually for marketing, sales, finance, human resources, and put all of that detail there into a document. So download that document, because we're going to use this as the knowledge base. So in some cases, you could say what we've done here is created some synthetic data, which is creating data from the LLM that we will now improve the quality of the knowledge of the agent by inserting it into the knowledge section. So scroll back down. Now that the agent's created, what happens is the knowledge base area becomes available to us. So from here, it's now time to upload the document that we just downloaded. So the case for digital transformation. And we just made this particular AI agent McKinsey consultant, even more intelligent because we've given specific examples. And you could go further and further with more detailed examples based on your business as well. And I'm just checking the messages, Chris. Yeah, Crystal knows is amazing, isn't it? Ryan said, should company researcher for pre-sales meeting be given the web search tool turned on? Look, it previously was required, but we've now actually enabled every agent to have web search capability. And so, and I know our web search and web scraping is about to take another leap again as well. What I would say is that you could actually trial this in both ways. You could have the web search tool, or we can use the fundamental new underline approach. What the difference is that the web search tool itself, it does a search, and then it does a high level scrape of the core information. But our new underlying essentially web researcher that's in every agent, it can go to a specific URL when you give it to them. So at the moment, I'll say we'll leave web search tool off as a result, and then see how it performs. Know that you can tinker with it, play around. And great question, Ryan. Thank you. Okay, so with the knowledge added, let's publish this agent. I add a document. And so what I'm doing here is these are release notes. You don't have to put these in, but this is just to help you track your changes over time, especially if you're sharing agents. We do have a new feature coming out maybe next week, Jen, which will be where you can share not just private or to the organization, but to specific team members in your organization. So the idea, as you create agents, you might have specific agents for the marketing team. So send those off to the marketing team. Some specific sales, send it to them. And so that you don't end up sort of cluttering people's agents up, their library up, by having agents that are not specific for them. Okay, agent number 2 is our pre-sales meeting email writer. So we'll build the new agent, add in the description for the pre-sales meeting email writer, add an icon of your choice, and add a category, and I'm going to add the category of sales. Generate the goal statement. And then the backstory. And our base instructions. Okay. Email drafting, scheduling, follow-up. Cool. It's given some examples. And you might see these examples, and in time, you might say, actually, I want to craft those more specifically, so you could have additional structure to suit. But we'll just today go with the default that's been generated. And we'll stay on this professional, influential track that we're on and create the agent. Now, in the next section, when we do the Solution Solves role play trainer, I've got another document here for solution selling. I've been thinking that maybe I might put that into the email writer as well. But for now, we'll leave this as is, and we can come back to it later if we want to tweak it further. So know that you can always come back and keep tweaking. That's part of being a flow engineer. You have some iterations until you get a really great outcome. And so let's build our 4th and final agent for this morning. And it is our, whoops, I've got the wrong name in there. Please excuse me while I fix that. It's the sales trainer. Fix that for everyone. So solution sales role play trainer is our final agent for today. teacher in. I think that's relevant. We'll keep it under sales, sense for salespeople to find it. And we'll use our AI to write the goal statement. Okay. And then our backstory. Oh, Neil's saying missing the knowledge doc. Actually, just double check, or maybe for the team, it's this little hyperlink in here for the knowledge doc. So digital case transformation, just double check the share is official for everyone. Anyone with the link? Yep. But also, if we could put these knowledge docs in separately in links in the chat, I think that would be helpful for everyone as well. And then the base instructions. Oh, you found it, Neil. Great. Awesome. And solutions also role-playing session, sales skill development, training materials creation. Great. We're in the right zone. And we'll stay with professional and influential for this one as well. Okay, then go through and create your agent. And then it's time for us to head on over to the workflows section. So click on workflows. And scroll down. Oh, wow. Did anyone pick up my mistake? Let's go back. I forgot to add the knowledge. Let's go back. So solution sales role-play trainer. On the ellipsis menu, select update agent. When you update the agent, because it's been created, our knowledge base section will appear. So scroll down to knowledge base. And this solution selling document we need to download. So when you open this one up, so a bit of background here to explain what I did as well is, but there's different types of sales methodologies out there. Spin selling is one. I really like the helping clients succeed solution sales selling approach, and it comes from Mahan Khalsa and Randy Illich and this book, Let's Get Real or Let's Not Play, Transforming the Buyer-Seller Relationship. And so I thought, okay, let's get this AI agent a little bit more advanced in this information. So once again, essentially creating synthetic data. I've gone to Raya this morning and I've asked Raya, do you know of this book? And Raya said, yes, I do. Fantastic. And then I asked for a summary of the chapters to be delivered, because the AI is essentially not allowed to go and reproduce the book for you. So you go in there and say, please generate the chapters in the book. And then you read through the chapter headings and you look for the part that can be important. And for me, it's actually qualifying opportunities. So opportunity checklist, issues, evidence, impact, context, and constraints. These are what's used to build a real high quality business case. And then the structure of a conversation that you would have in solution selling, move off the solution, get out all of the issues, gather evidence and impact, explore context and constraints. And so with that information, I then asked the AI to provide more detail on chapter 6, qualifying opportunities. And it did that. It came through and said, here's issues, definition, objective, approach, and then evidence, definition, objective, approach, impact, context, constraints. Did a really good job of it. Then I asked it to further expand on structuring the conversation and expanded in these areas as well, and get some good detail. Now I could, go further. If I knew that I was targeting a specific industry, I could ask it to, generate more synthetic data based on that industry. And essentially, we now put this into the brain of the AI agent. So if you haven't done it already, please download this file and then add it to the knowledge base. So I'll upload that document. Now, if anyone keeping up with AI news, you might have heard that OpenAI has got a new model coming before the end of the year, or a further advancement on 4.0. And this new model is forecast to be 100 times more powerful than GPT-4.0. Crazy. And interestingly, through a process called distillation, well, they're doing two things. They're using what might be GPT-5, which has been given the code names of Q-Star and Strawberry and Next, but we might see the name of this model, GPT-4 Next, is what the CEO of OpenAI in Japan released or leaked in the last week or so, and that they'll be using this new bigger model that won't come out in the market yet to actually generate synthetic data to then make the current models smarter, and then they'll do what's called distillation. They'll take that knowledge from within what might be Q-Star, Strawberry, or GPT-5 and bring that down into GPT-4.0, which might be called 4.0 Next. So we're going to see this as the world kind of runs out of data to be consumed, that will then start creating synthetic data. And that's kind of what you're doing here. You're generating your own information in order to then make your agent smarter. Okay, let's publish that one and head on over to workflows. Back to our instructions. Let's create the workflow. So click on Build New Workflow, and we have the name and description name to put in. So the name is Digital Transformation Business Case Builder for Pre-Sales. And the description, a bit of a longer one here. And copy and paste that in. It says, create a 2-part pre-sales email series for an upcoming sales appointment that includes compelling business case ideas for the potential customer. The business cases are to be tailored to the industry of the client. So we select create. And our workflow canvas appears in front of us. Now with that block in front of you, click on the block and our side menu comes up with task, agent, and tools. So for task, just as a summary here, and it's part of my own planning in the documentation, I copied again this task and agent explanation of what's happening in the 4 steps, and then created the block. So block 1 is research about the company for the meeting. So let's copy that label in, title label. And then in the next prompt here, it says, review the website of the company to determine what industry they are in and the market they serve. Create insights into common challenges a business like this may face. So copy that in and paste it into the instructions. Right, Ryan's also sharing, yeah, and release of AI search, right? Yeah, Google SEO, all in the bin by the end of the year. Could be the case. A whole new world, isn't it? New skill sets and tool sets coming our way. Select agent, and the agent is the company website researcher that we created earlier. And then we expanded that name though, didn't we, to for pre-sales meeting preparation. So let's assign that. I'll just update my notes here for us all. Okay. No tool here, okay, because we're pre-built in the web search. And it's now time to add the next block. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit there. Okay, block number 2, create business cases for digital transformation. Copy that purple text, put it into title or label area. And then the description in purple, which goes down, it's a bit longer, goes down onto the second page. So select all that purple text and paste it in. So here's where your prompting skills come in for the step in the workflow, because every every block, we get the ability to essentially pre-create these prompts. Later, when you run the workflow, you can re-prompt, but here's the base prompt that will be used each time. So generate 20 business case ideas for digital transformation. Please develop 20 business case examples for digital transformation using intelligent process automation. IPA combines the power of AI agents and automation to deliver results in organizations. The key areas of use are marketing, sales, customer support, finance, and human resources. And I kind of feel like I doubled up a bit in that communication. I don't think we need both of those. You can take that out if you like. And then let's get the agent. And with that agent, we're going to add the McKinsey Digital Transformation Consultant. So let's assign, imagine that. Imagine what this would cost per hour for our McKinsey consultant. Now let's add the next block. We'll head on to block 3. And the title here is create the pre-meeting email series. So back to the task and paste in that title, create the pre-meeting email series. And then our prompt, the description and instructions. And these are create 2 compelling emails, including a couple of examples of potential business case ideas for digital transformation based on the research and examples from the previous agents. The first email is to confirm the appointment. The second email is a reminder 1 day prior to the appointment. Reference the attachment of business case ideas for digital transformation. Okay. And then it's from that, we'll add the agent, which is our pre-sales meeting email writer. Thank you, nice. You let me know we've got 15 minutes to go. She's not confident that I'm going to finish in time. Well, no, you've been helpful. Thank you. And let's do the final block now. And go back to task, which is our role play preparation. And then copy in our prompt for the instruction. Based on the research and business cases, prepare 3 role-playing scenarios using the qualifying opportunities approach from Mahan Coulse's Let's Get Real or Let's Not Play solution sales approach. And we may not need to add all that in there. We probably could also put in just 3 role plays because of the type of agent, but I've just added in there for a little bit more, a bit more prescriptive. Let's now publish, add the agent. That would be a good idea. Add the solution sales role play trainer, assign that agent. And from there, publish. Okay, and we'll do that privately, especially for anyone at Go Team. Please publish that privately. And now let's go put it to the test. Head on over to chat and copy in this prompt. Please prepare a business case on digital transformation and pre-sales emails for a potential client. You can put your own URL in there or use the one that's provided. It's actually one of our clients I was talking to last night. And then from there, select the workflow icon, and it should appear as the first, most recent one that you've built, the digital transformation. That was created 5 days ago. Sorry, which should we call this one? Call this one digital transformation business case. I've created one on the weekend, so I want to make sure I get the right one. Oops. Okay, selected that one. It's created 7 minutes ago. It's the right one for me. Select the workflow. So that workflow now appears selected here, and then we can run our workflow. Just have a little think about it. Okay. And you'll notice that we've taken away that extra step you had to kind of keep confirming, and it's now kicking off straight into the workflow. So our friends at Muse Modern Marketing, digital and advertising agency company in Clarksville, they're in the USA. Company overview. I mean, this is sensationally fast preparation for a salesperson to do their pre-meeting preparation and research. We've now, and how long did that take? 6 seconds. How fast is that? Faster it takes to go and go over to the website. We've got in 11 seconds. These business cases are being built. So we've asked it to do problem statement and goal approach. So difficulty in identifying potential customers who are already ready to engage with sales, leading inefficient use of marketing resources. The goal would be to increase the number of marketing qualified leads from 500 to 1,500 per month by a date. It's making these numbers up. You need to validate these later on. Ryan, let's proceed with workflow. I need more context before starting. Could you provide some specific details about STS Australia? The website. Did you put STS Australia or the URL itself? Try it with the URL. Why dates have already been? Well, the dates are in the past. It's the LLM's just making it up. So what we could do is reprompt this, be more specific, and say, please only use future dates for goals that are 12 months in advance. Now, the thing I need to check is, does our AI reference its own date as today? That one I'm not sure about. This would be a good one to check. So we can generate, and it's regenerating. Hey, Genesis, I think we need another little timer on here for when we generate, because it's so compelling to watch the number of seconds here on the left-hand side. Yeah, thanks. Or if we show it up again over here. There we go, regenerating for us. Yeah, it didn't quite get 12 months in advance, did it? Because I said 12 months in advance, but it did it only through to October. It's like it considered this year. So we could reprompt it one more time to make sure it gets those ideas in better detail. Then it's got the pre-email writer. Just for time, I won't regenerate it. But once I've done this, I might like to regenerate again, because my results that I've got in this block are dependent on the block above. So if you want to regenerate, you can. Let's have a look at these ones. My confirmation. I might like to go into the click to export content and confirming an upcoming appointment, for digital transformation for the client's name. And I hope Simon finds you well. I'd like to confirm the upcoming meeting with a schedule. Preparation for our meeting. We've prepared some business case ideas tailored specifically for your company. Here are a couple of examples. And it's put in a couple of examples. And then it references it. And if you put more information about your products into the AI, into its knowledge base, then it will be able to pull those product matches in. And we can export that to PDF or doc or text, CSV file, or Excel. And if you want to export things to Excel, it's really important that you actually be prompting to present the data in a table, or have that particular agent as a Excel spreadsheet preparation builder. So to give it a real goal to do that. Appointment reminder. Okay. And might need a little bit more structuring. So friendly reminder about the meeting date and time. Probably say, meeting link as well. And then solution sales role play. So let's show more here. And it's got some role plays for us with contact salesperson script in there, issues, evidence, impact. And really importantly, it's really helped out with some questions here. And if we go through it, let's say, It's data analytics. It's a bit boring. Okay, customer engagement. Okay. You're meeting with Sarah, the marketing director. Sarah, I've noticed that increasing customer engagement is a top priority for your marketing team. Could you tell me more about the current personalization strategies you use in your campaigns? Sarah says, well, we try to personalize our emails and content, but the engagement rate's still low. This is not true from you, but AI is making it up. Issues. So personalization can be challenging. What specific hurdles are you encountering in making your campaigns more personalized? And for evidence, have you identified any patterns or feedback from customers indicating why your current strategies aren't fully effective? And then impact, how does the lack of engagement impact your overall marketing goals and customer acquisition? Then context, what tools or techniques have you used in your personalization efforts to date? And then constraints, are there particular restrictions, whether resources, allocation, or technical capabilities that are preventing you from achieving your personalization? And then it goes on. So some great examples there for role playing, which, and think about it, this, what would it cost to actually have a sales trainer come into the business and work with a team member, personally coaching them? Like, it's wild, right? It's significant at an hourly rate, and you've got to prep them up and so forth. Or alternatively, we can get this into part of our processes in business. Now, a beautiful future state of this would be to say, okay, well, I'd also like to have this more automated. So I'd like the email to be set up in my drafts, in my inbox, ready to send, review it before it sends. I'd like an attachment of the document that was created to be attached to that email. I would like these role play notes automatically emailed to the salesperson a day before or an hour before the meeting, so they can do a little bit of refresher prep. The ability to do those next steps, that's what's coming in our automations tools, which I look forward, hopefully we should see September, in October, all going to play. And that's where you'd be able to build out these more complex steps. You won't see this in yours yet because we're still putting it together, but essentially you could build out these more complex steps of adding documents, sending them, updating them into what we call the full automations. This is the foundation of the true digital transformation within our organizations as we move beyond just AI into the full automation as well. So, so many exciting things coming, constantly building at a rapid rate here in the background, and everything we're doing, we're thinking about how we can multiply results in your organizations. Hope you got some insights today. We moved pretty quick because we've got a skilled crew here. So thank you, everybody. And what have we got here? Joseph's AI note taker. Okay. And Ryan, you're saying, I use here URL. Please prepare a business case on digital transformation and pre-sales emails for potential clients. And you didn't get what you're after. Let's have a quick look here. And Ryan, happily to jump offline and give you a hand if there's something that didn't work out. I'll note that. But what I'll do is I'll close it down for everyone now, so you can say, have an amazing weekend. I hope you're doing something nice with your loved ones, and that as you apply your AI agents in your business, you start to free up your time so you can do more of that, or maybe you'll just achieve more. Either way, whatever works for you. Thanks, everybody. Looking forward to seeing you next week. Have a wonderful weekend from all of our team here at Cebu. Big thank you to those that make the Raya platform actually make it and then make these sessions happen as well. It's an entire team effort to bring this to you. So thanks, everybody. Have an amazing weekend.